powerful aftershock has struck northeastern Japan exactly a month after March's devastating earthquake and tsunami killed more than 13,000 people. Meanwhile, the government is extending the 20-kilometer evacuation zone around the Fukushima nuclear plant over risks of long-term radiation. Journalist Tetsuo Jimbo braved the area, going within 1.5 kilometers of the stricken facility to document the dangerous levels of radiation there. Here's what he saw.
郡山のひどいところと一緒。いや、だからこの G マークで富岡町に入ってすぐのところの。あ、7になったぞ。どうかこの先右に曲がれれば見れるはず。
Some incredible video there. Well, I'm joined live by Tetsuo Jimbo himself on the line with us from Tokyo. Very good to have you with us. I guess the question in everybody's mind, this video has been seen worldwide right now. What were you thinking going into this into the evacuation zone? The government says it was a disaster area. What made you go there and drive in?
Well, you don't know unless you actually go there and find out yourself. There are lots of strange rumors about the place, but no one has gone in there actually, and being able to tell for sure what's happening. So, being a journalist, I guess you just have to go there if it's there. So I went in. Of course, I was very cautious with the Geiger counter, and I was willing to spend only a limited time in there. But actually, the radiation level was surprisingly low until you get to the certain point. Then afterwards, it gets really high. But so that's how I decided to go.
Yeah, and in that video there, we could hear the Geiger counter beeping there with the radiation level warning. So tell us more of what you saw in the exclusion zone. How high were the levels of radiation that you recorded?
Well, up until about 10 kilometers from the reactor, the radiation level was surprisingly low. But because there's no residents left in there, and there's no police and there's no power, so all the traffic lights were, out, and because there's no police, there were like, cows and the dogs were just, wandering around freely, and also the roads, which were badly damaged by the earthquake, and also some of the, rubbles and debris coming from tsunami are actually left as they were, because no rescue or no repair work were done because of the radiation. So basically, the clock had stopped right at the March 11th when the earthquake and the tsunami hit, and nothing has happened except the people just completely evacuated from the area.
Now, I suppose the whole experience must have been surreal for you, but what would you say was the most surprising thing you saw while you were there?
Well, people tell me after seeing the picture that it was very scary, creepy, and all that. But to me, other than radiation, it's just nothing. I mean, some streets are damaged. It's kind of strange to see cows walking around on the street. But other than that, things look normal. So only things that matters is the radiation. And when it comes to radiation, this is a very strange feeling, but at one point I was getting up to 120 micro Cbel per hour, which is very strong, but you don't feel a thing. You don't smell a thing. You don't smell. You don't feel any heat. It doesn't hurt. So that's what that's a scary part of the radiation. You don't know unless you have a Geiger counter with you. You don't know you are being exposed to a deadly radiation.
And do you think the government says that the risk of high-level radiation leaks from the plant is much lower. From what you've seen, do you think that's the case, or is the government trying to conceal the actual risk?
I don't think government is trying to conceal anything. First of all, there was no actual research done until just recently inside the evacuation zone. After I filmed the area on Sunday, that's the Sunday before last Sunday, the self-defense force, which is the Japanese military, went in and checked the radiation level there. So now they know. But until then, this evacuation area circling around the reactor is not necessarily set up due to the high radiation level, but rather that if something terrible happens in that reactor, such as explosion and so forth, the 20 kilo is the minimum distance that you need in order to escape from deadly nuclear particles. So the radiation level itself varies from place to place, and actually there are much higher radiation places much further from the reactor. But this evacuation area is set up not only based on the government's assumption that the radiation is high in that area, though after 10 kilometers from the reactors, radiation is really high, and every step you take it just went up. So up to 10 kilo, I can see that you really need to evacuate the area simply based on the radiation level.
All right, video journalist Tetsuo Jumbo joining us live from Tokyo. Thank you.